are live here on VSN Basketball. It's our first time the three of us have been on here. The first time the three of us from Fat Boy Fadeaway Sports have been here in a while. We're here to do a little VSN Basketball, a little NBA preview. Glad to be here representing the VSN Basketball Network here. I got my usuals with me. I got Tyler McGurk. I got Casey Breyer with me. Gentlemen, we got the 2023 playoffs to get into. We'll hit on all the series. I got some good questions for you guys along the way here. But first, I always like, all right, we're back together, gentlemen. Tyler, how you doing here? Playoff preview. Here we go.
I'm doing good. I'm excited. I'm glad to have Casey on the show. I haven't done a podcast with Casey in ages. Casey, it's good to have you back. Daren, let's get into these NBA playoffs.
Let's do it. Case, how you doing?
Doing good, man. A little tired, but it's all right. I'm doing my thing. Me and Tyler have aged at least 6 months, and we both hit the 36 years. Oh, my God, what the hell happened? But, yeah, we're 36. Darren's about to be 39, creeping on 40. We're going to hit the 40-40 club in 4 years. Hopefully, we're still doing this thing. But, yeah, life is good, man. I appreciate the time I always spend with my homie, my Stonies, and my Rollers, and my best friend over here, Tyler. So, I'm just looking forward to this podcast. We got NBA playoffs, boys. Woo!
I need to see what you said there. I'm going to go back.
You just depressed the shit out of me, Casey. I didn't realize I was 36 years old. My God, we're getting old.
And the beard don't look 36, man. You
no, it doesn't.
Up like 26.
There, that's why he's getting married.
I appreciate it.
All right, let's get into it. VSN Basketball.
Don't take off the hat, though. Don't take off the
hat. Keep the Warriors hat on. Here we go. VSN Basketball, gentlemen. It's kind of a newer YouTube channel here at VSN. We're trying to get it going here. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Casey, you joined me all month long for March Madness. Now we're moving on, Casey, to the NBA playoffs here. Let's get up to when I got the warm-up line here. Let's get our initial thoughts here just on the play-in games. Tyler, we had the Lakers come back, beat the T-Wolves yesterday. I have the Hawks, maybe not stun Miami, but it did feel like a big win. I thought Miami was going to handle that game. You have the Bulls crazy comeback against the Raptors, if you caught any of that. And we have the Pelicans and Thunder still in a tight game here, kind of wrapping up the first half. Your first thoughts here, Tyler, on the on the play-in games in general and just kind of what we saw.
They have been very entertaining. The Lakers and the Timberwolves game was great. LeBron was good down the stretch. Schroeder played great. It's been very enjoyable. I'm not a big fan of the play-in like idea and how it works, but the games have been great. They've been entertaining. I'm watching them, so the NBA is getting what they want.
No doubt. Case, what are your thoughts there on the playing games? What do you think about the Lakers game yesterday with the T-Wolves there in particular? I don't know if you got to catch the end of it or at least see the highlights of it today. I know you were working late yesterday, very late yesterday. So I think you might have caught the highlights. The Timberwolves have this edge of just being able they blow games at the end. They're just not very dependable. Obviously, Ant didn't have a very good game. The Lakers get the 7 seed. We'll get into that matchup versus the Grizzlies later here. But to me, a big performance by the Lakers to have another comeback here. I thought what did you think of that playing game there with the Lakers coming through?
I mean, a few different points here. The Lakers survived. They made it through. Ant went 3 for 17. Anthony Davis, I won't say he played his greatest game, but Cat, without Rudy Gobert, was in foul trouble with 5 fouls. And, the last bucket he had to make it 107-102. He couldn't really hack them. And, it could. You want to send him to the line, but you got to keep yourself in the game. But I love the playing games. I'm different from Tyler. I just love it because it keeps the NBA a lot more relevant. It's different because you have a lot of teams tanking right now. Dallas obviously chose to do that with Luka playing 1 quarter.
Yeah.
So, but they also have stipulations. If they finish in that certain realm, then they won't get the Knicks top 10 pick. So I get that part of it, but I think it's a good thing. As I'm watching the New Orleans and OKC, it's 57-58 right now, and then we got to see a little baby upset before, with the Raptors going down. So
gosh, what a choke job that was, Casey.
Oh my God! I mean, up by 19. Pascal Siakam was in his bag. Fred VanVleet looked like he was doing his thing, and then Zach LaVine just turned it up in the second half. I was like, oh my God, okay. I see where you at. But I enjoy the NBA playoffs. This is my favorite time of the year.
Do you think the playing game was a good thing?
Absolutely. Best thing that ever happened in basketball.
What do you think, Tyler?
I'm not a fan of it. I like the game. I think it would have been more if the Lakers, Clippers, Warriors all could have missed the playoffs that last day of the NBA season. I think the games would have meant more. It would have been very exciting. Instead, you knew you'd get a chance in the play-in, and the Lakers obviously come up, beat the Timberwolves, and here we are. Nothing really happened that crazy. Good games, and they're drawing crowds, so it's doing what it's been put in place to do. I just think the regular season you should be rewarded for the 82 games and not a silly little one-game tournament.
I hear you on that. All right, let's get to our opening tip here. Let's get to our favorite matchup here in the first round. Tyler, what's your favorite matchup here in the first round?
I think we already met. It's the Lakers, Grizzlies. It's the two teams I hate more than anybody in the NBA at this point. How the NBA season's broken down, and I can't wait for one of them to be eliminated. Like when LeBron eliminates, I'll pop champagne. When Dylan Brooks gets eliminated, I'm popping champagne, and I can't wait for the fan bases just to melt.
Casey, what's your
have the
favorite
meltdowns on Twitter.
What series are you looking forward to?
I'm looking toward the bus ride, sack the Oakland, San Francisco now. But I mean, it's going to be electric, man. It's just Sacktown. I mean, I haven't made the playoffs. Tom Wood could probably quote me better on this, but I want to say it's 17 years, close to that date. But yeah, it's going to be a phenomenal series. De'Aaron Fox is just a baller. They got shooters all around. Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter, Domantas Sabonis. Just as a playmaker, as a center. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Warriors, but that 6-3 matchup is so sexy. I think it's like the 12-5 matchup in the college.
It does have a little bit of that, or even 7. Exactly 7-10 type of deal there with it, kind of that good little juicy matchup there. Tyler, I got the thing. Let's go right to it. Warriors Kings here. That's obviously where our heart lies. Your hat says it all there. Not the hair, right, Casey? The hat says it all up there. We got Saturday evening, gentlemen, 5:30 start, prime time slot here. Northern California. We're here in the heart of it right here. I mean, we've never had this matchup. First time ever. It's going to be absolutely off the charts there in Sacramento in that game. And then you come back to the Bay Area in San Francisco, it's going to be absolutely off the charts. So the crowds I expect to be electric. It comes down to the Warriors. Can they steal a game on the road? A team that won 11 games on the road. But look, come on, those last two where the Kings tanked and the Blazers, I don't know what that was. That, you know what I mean? It was 9 real ones, 1 real win. They beat the Cavs. It's the only team they beat over 500 all year on the road. I guess, Tyler, who do you got? Are the Warriors pulling this out?
Oh, I got the Warriors in 6. The experience will be there. I can't see them winning 2 or 3 on the road, so I think they'll win the 2 home games. They'll get 1 on the road, and then
which road game do you think it would be?
I think it'll be game 2. I think they'll get game 2. It's going to be so electric, that first game. I think it's been 20-plus years, actually, for the Kings since the playoffs. And it's just going to be electric. I don't know. I can't imagine what it's going to be like. But I expect them to lose the first game. And then Sabonis is just a special player. He's one of my favorite players to watch. Me and you have called him the Draymond Green of offense. Like, how he plays offense. He can do it all. He has every trick in the book. He can score from all 3 levels. And he's just a fantastic player. I can't wait to see that matchup between the two. But Curry, Clay, Poole coming on strong, I just think will be too much for De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, and Kevin Huerter.
Case?
Well, I mean, this is the first time the Kings and the Warriors have had a winning season in the same year.
That's
insane.
The first time they'll ever meet in the
so bad. Northern California has seen some bad basketball. As much as people say we see some good lately, we see some bad basketball.
Oh, yeah. It's been awful. I mean, the coaches from Dave Cowens to, PJ Colormiso, it's been awful. It's been terrible team.
I always think of the guy Corbin that never called the timeout during Clay's 37-game win.
But just get to the actual point of where we're at in the playoffs in 2023. I think the Kings got a real legit shot of beating the Warriors. I just think they might be a little bit too. They got a little bit too much youth. De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter. I know he played with the Hawks. Got a little playoff experience. Sabonis got a little bit with Indiana, but I think Clay, Draymond, Wiggins coming back. We'll see how he plays. That's going to be a huge factor. GP2, I think they solidify their defense. The Kings got the best offensive rating in the last like 15 years, I believe. But I mean, that's hypothetical when you think about like the era of basketball that we're playing in. Katie, Clay, Draymond, Steph. Like, come on now, don't even get
It
me
almost
back.
feels like a perfect matchup for the Warriors in a sense, from the sense of like there's not a big center on Sacramento. Yeah, I mean there are the King can outscore them. I get that, but like I think the Warriors were going to choose the way they were going to take it. They'd rather take it with outscoring somebody instead of having to deal with
Fun.
Sabonis is a big offensive player, but like you get my point in terms of like the defensive challenge, and even like I call it the Harrison Barnes series, it's a big series.
The fun part for me is going to see Draymond on Sabonis and Steph on Fox. Those are the two matches I'm looking forward to. But I think the X factor in the
You think
series,
Fox will guard Curry at the end of the game?
I think it's going to have to because
Won't
the
be
Warriors
Mitchell?
are very. I really believe the X factor is going to be Klay Thompson and Harrison Barnes. So whoever that third best players in that series is going to make or break who makes that series. And I got the Warriors in 6 though.
I think it's interesting, like with the Warriors. The final little thought on the Warriors here. We'll talk more about it on Sunday. Is I just think it's a big game for a big series for Monk and Poole. I just think those two guys can be swing players for either team. Obviously, either can get kind of red hot. It feels like for either team too. So I think those guys can be.
Can Harrison Barnes hit a jumper from the corner?
We'll see. All right, let's go Lakers Grizzlies. Tyler here. What do you think about that one here? We got the Lakers do get that series, should be filled of drama there. We got the 12:30 start our time here on Sunday, 3:30 Eastern. Lakers beat the T-Wolves in OT to secure that. I got my little hashtag there for Savage, who's guarding AD there. So, what do you got there with I don't know. What do you got in this series? You think the Grizzlies pulled out in 5? You think the Lakers may give a little push? What do you got?
I got Grizzlies in 6. I think John Morant's going to take over the series. JJ versus AD is going to be the matchup. I think it's the two guys that can actually guard each other. No one can really guard AD. Triple J's a little easier to guard, but he's been an unreal player. But his defense is second to none at this point in his career, and everyone else's point in their career. I think the Grizzlies are a little deeper. I think they'll pull this series out in 6. But Ja and Desmond Bane will just – I don't know how they're going to guard.
Do you think the Lakers can get 2 games here?
Yeah, I think with LeBron and AD, anyone they can win any game.
I don't know.
They could also lose every game.
They seem so slow now. Like, I mean, don't you think the Grizzlies could just push the pace there, Casey, enough? Now they got I don't know. It just seems like or do you think the Lakers have the thing that makes me kind of go on Tyler's side is like, all right, we got LeBron. So like he's.
And what happens in the NBA playoffs? It slows down. Like in fouls, the Lakers are going to get a good whistle. They have all year. It's just, I don't know. I still think the Grizzlies will pull it off, but I think it will be a good series.
So you got Memphis in 60?
Yeah.
I got the Lakers in 6.
What?
It'll be exciting. I can't wait for one of them.
So that means they win all their home games, Casey, and they win one on the road?
I just don't. They're missing Brandon Clark. They're missing Steven Adams. Like, they don't have a lot of height. Jaren Jackson Jr., he fouls out quicker than a fast food lane. Like, I mean, there ain't as soon as you get the order, he's done. Like, I mean, there ain't no way. Like,
come on, he's for defensive player of the year.
Yeah, I think he's got a little more respect with the refs, and he's garnered a little more and won't get such a cheap foul. Yeah, but he has in the past. He's proven he does get in a lot of foul trouble. The Warriors got him in foul trouble last year. I don't. Yeah, you have a point.
The only thing though,
the Austin Reeves factory.
Yeah, the only thing though that's gonna be trouble. The one big problem for the Lakers is Ja Morant. Austin Reeves can't hang. D'Lo was benched last game for Schroeder. So I mean, unless he can come on, but I think the Lakers got too much. They got too much poise, the veteranship, and then LeBron, AD. I think it's too much. I really think the Lakers pull this off in 6, and I hope Dylan Brooks really looks in the mirror on this one. Say, hey.
If that's the case, I can't imagine. Like honestly, I'm not picking the Lakers because I just feel like the Grizzlies are a better team. I just don't think the Lakers are that great. I mean, I think they kind of snuck in at the end. They have so many issues. They were down by 10 against the T-Wolves most of the game, And I feel like the Grizzlies they're just more athletic than the Lakers, and they'll wear them down, believe it or not. And I think their shooting's better. I got to go the opposite of you, Case. I got the Grizzlies in 5. I think the Grizzlies can finish this off quicker.
Lakers been the best defensive team since February.
That is true, and that's what I say. The season matters. I don't know when the season matters anymore in the NBA. You're right, though. You're right. That matters a little bit.
Rid of all they got Vanderbilt. They got Malik Beasley. Like, they flipped the script. Like, everyone just got way better. Like, they fit the pieces around LeBron. LeBron needs shooters. He needs defenders. To me, it's just Anthony Davis been out of his mind lately. If they stay healthy, I got the Lakers and Warriors in the Western Conference Finals.
I mean, there's been other people that have been saying this. Well, I got shout out a guy here, Savage at 3 the Hardaway.
Not finals, but
he's been on fire lately. I was finished up their pod today on. He was on with Damian Adams this week. They did a really good job breaking down the playoffs and stuff like that. So appreciate you tuning in. I know he took the Grizzlies. He took the Grizzlies at 6. He had a funny little segment, Case, because I don't know if you remember when he was on our show. I got to throw it back if he's listening right here. I was thinking about that when he was listening to our show. I was like, I remember when I asked him about who would he root for, the Lakers or the Grizzlies, way back. And he's like, I forget what his answer. I got to go back and listen and see what it was. I know he said it was the Grizzlies at the end of the day, but I feel like it was a little different. So I gotta go back and listen to that question I had there for him on that. But I appreciate him tuning in there. And I think the Grizzlies case just have that speed. But I hear you. If they get in foul trouble, they only have. He's right though, Tyler. They really only have Jackson to throw at AD, right? Or is there somebody else that you would be like, I'm confident in him?
No, there's nobody else on the Grizzlies you're feeling confident. Nobody in the league I feel comfortable guarding AD when he's healthy. But I posted on Twitter, kind of as a troll, would you rather have Austin Reeves or Dylan Brooks in the playoffs, Casey? I know you haven't seen the question. I know Daren's already seen it. Who would you rather have?
I'd rather have Dylan Brooks.
But that's what I just don't like the fact that he can shoot you out of the game. I still think he looked like Wishbone from freaking
I want to play with that hair. I almost would respect him even more.
I just can't believe 3 the Hardaway said Luke Kennard. Like, are you serious? Like, I'm sorry.
He was on fire.
He's been unreal this year.
He was on fire. I can't believe the Clippers just gave him away.
That movie was in the 70s or 80s. Cool Hand Luke is done, man.
What is our guy?
He can't eat that many eggs. He can't eat that many eggs to the win. I'm sorry. It ain't going to happen.
Not that
many hard-boiled eggs. It ain't going to happen.
I hear you. He's shot 45% from 3. He's been on fire all year.
He has been good on fire. He can shoot an open 3. That he can do.
That's all you got to do with Ja. And when you have Sims as your point guards guarding Ja Morant, it's going to be a 3-point contest. And we'll see what happens. I still think LeBron gives them trouble when the game slows down. And those fouls are going to be coming.
Vanderbilt was a really great pickup for them, though. Great pickup.
Is that the guy that broke his hand?
He scored 0 points against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, but sometimes you just need that dude that just plays defense. I mean, look at Tony Allen. How far do you get them, right?
That's true. All right, let's go Clippers Suns here. Let's keep it moving. This series to me is going to be very entertaining for that 4-5 matchup. Thank God the Warriors said it. We got that matchup. I don't know. The Suns do have. I mean, if we look at we go like 5 deep. You're probably like, there's some like question in some areas, like where you're like, I don't know, in the playoffs, am I going to trust? What's the lefty? I can't think of right now. The point guard right now. I keep forgetting his name. Gosh, he kind of annoys me too.
Campaign.
Yeah, that guy over there. Like, can we trust him again? Can we trust these other guys to come through? Can the starters play all these minutes? What's foul trouble going to do? And then you have the Kawhi factor, the silent killer. You know what I mean? They don't have George. It sounds like he might come back. I think people are kind of. I was thinking about this, and I think it might have been Savage. I heard it bring it up. Was they are. You're not hearing much about the Westbrook Durant matchup in this. There is kind of like there's a lot here with this Clippers Suns matchup.
I think it comes down to KD versus Kawhi, and I can't wait for KD to eat. He's gonna, and then you have Devin Booker. I don't think they're gonna be that close of a series without Paul George. The Clippers aren't deep enough. I got the Suns in 5 at worst, probably a sweep. KD's the best. Did you see the numbers KD put up this year? They're absolutely ridiculous. They're the Clippers. When have the Clippers ever done anything? Never. They lose. That's what the Clippers do. And the Suns have the 2 most efficient scorers at shooting guard and small forward.
Well, you're right. Leonard might sit out games 2 and 3. So
And he might have a little prick in his toe and be like, I think I'm going to sit this one out. Wait till next year.
Casey, who do you got?
I would got the Suns in a gentleman sweep. I mean, KD's just too good. We've seen him on the
They haven't
Warriors.
lost for the mid.
Nah, I mean, he's won 27 of his last 29 games. That's ridiculous. Like, when he plays, he don't lose. Like, he's too good. Devin Booker, Chris Paul. I think it's just it's too much. The Clippers without PG, a healthy PG. If it was a healthy PG, I'd give the Suns in 6. But I think it's 4-1 Suns. I don't think they can stick with him. I know the Suns with Chris Paul, just the catalyst. He's going to feed Devin Booker. Devin Booker's been on a heater all year. He's just scoring buckets.
Well, how could the Clippers give him any trouble? Let's just pretend. What would be the scenario case if you were coaching him? You'd be like, all right, Leonard, you're on Durant, or you put him on Booker and you put in somebody. I'm just trying to think. Do you play Zubac in this matchup? You have to play him probably against Ayton, right?
Ayton, that's not my focal. To me, like Ayton, he's all right. Like, don't get me wrong. Like
Well, I'm just trying to think from a Clippers standpoint who they're playing then.
So you gotta go if you go in starting 5, you go Zubac, Kawhi, Zubac on Ayton, Zubac or Leonard on, I would say Booker. I would say you gotta mix and match and do double team with Batum.
Oh no!
Well, you don't have a PG.
Oh, the series is over. No,
well, that's what I said. It's a gentleman's sweep because you could put PG-13 on Devin Booker, and then you could put Kawhi on, Kevin Durant. After that, you're pretty much done. I mean, Westbrook on CP3.
I mean, the series is not as competitive.
I don't think the Clippers can score enough to keep up with the Suns. It was like the Warriors when they were dominant with KD. They just don't have enough buckets to score.
You're saying basically Leonard gets him 1. That's the deal. Kawhi gets him a game.
If Kawhi scores 30 a game, they still lose.
Put it this way. The Clippers beat the Suns by 5, and the Suns weren't playing anybody on the last game of the season. They're depending on Eric Gordon and Norman Powell.
I still like secondary. I've always liked Eric Gordon. Why is he not on the Warriors?
Not at this point in his career. Maybe when he was 28 and could get up and down.
I wanted him on the Warriors. He kept playing the Warriors in the playoffs too. I was like, damn it. I was like, oh.
Well, he was on those Rockets teams.
They had the Pelicans early on too. I was like,
I mean, would you really bet the Clippers against the Phoenix Suns? Like,
no, I'm just trying to think out. Yeah, I'm just trying to be obviously kind of think like what would be the best scenario for the Clippers to play those guys. Like, what would be their best lineup in that regard?
The only thing I have to say is that Ty Lue is a great coach, so he might push him 6. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the matchups, like, I
triple
think
team Durant.
Well, I mean, how can you guard a freak that he went 55, 40, and 90 this year? Like, there's 50, 40, and 90s. He went 55, 40, and 90. Like,
you're right. The problem is when they go switching and they just start doing all this stuff, there's going to be a lot of open 3. So it will come down to that. All right, Nuggets real quick, then we'll move on to my
what's the over-under on Russell Westbrook shot attempts in game 1? 20.5?
9.
Over-under.
9. He's not taking 20.
You think he's taking 9 shot attempts?
I'm saying he takes 9.
That's like the Knicks making the Eastern Conference Finals. 9. I'll be shocked.
And then Tyler,
it might make it. That's my wild prediction.
Tyler, I got one for you. Tyler, I got one for you. 3.5 bank shots from Russell Westbrook. Like,
how many of them hit the rim after hitting the backboard?
Not layups, but actual jump shots. I'm going 3.5 over.
I'll go under 3.5, over 2.5. I think I'll attempt 3. They'll all be big old bricks.
Oh man, that is the crazy part though, because Westbrook played, with Chris Paul and Durant, and I saw his thing he had to say today. He's like, oh, there's no beef, but
there's always a little beef. Remember the first game back? There's the beef. All right, I want to keep it moving here though. We got I got our Savage. I was listening to, like I said today, he picked the Nuggets still to go to the finals. We'll make our picks later. But with that said, we got the Nuggets. Probably the Pelicans are up 6 right now at halftime. Let's hypothetical both teams just in your mind real quick here. Nuggets, I think we both have them winning in the game. Like, give me a confidence meter just on them making it to the finals. Like, if you have 1 to 10, that's all I want to know. Tyler, where are you at?
I got 2.5.
Casey, where you at? 1 to 10.
Yeah, 2.5.
2.5.
I mean, I give them a 25% chance. That's not
I
bad.
know. It just sounds harsh at the time.
It's a realistic.
It
I don't
sounds
know.
harsh.
I'd rather have the Warriors. I'd rather have the Suns.
You're right. We
So,
should say 25%. That sounds much nicer. Okay, so who do you got?
I mean, it's like the McDonald's, like, 4, they do the 6-piece and the 20-piece. I take the value and just, I think they're going to make it for 2 rounds, but, I ain't going farther
So
than
what does that give him? A 6? That a 6 piece?
$6.99, $6.99, almost
$6.99,
about 7.
All right, I got that. So D plus.
$6.99. Are you out of your mind?
D plus.
Gold Denny's.
I mean, if you add some sauce, it might be an 8, but I don't see them getting further than that. There's certain regular season teams that just cannot prove it. I don't see an MPJ. He's a baller, but Jamal Murray, if he's healthy at his craft, it's like the Milwaukee Bucks on the East, but they don't have Giannis. They don't.
Casey, that's a great transition. Let's get to our question of the week here. Brought by Row One Brand. Use the code there at VSN15 over at Variety Sports Network. Tyler, we got to give it a little shout out here. VSN Baseball made the top 200 list there on listens podcasts out there. So great job, guys, over at VSN Baseball, doing a great job there at the network. Again, follow us over at VSN Basketball. Hoping to do something like that down the line. Try to do that with college. So we're trying to get everything going here. With that said, our question of the week here brought to you by Row One Brand. Who should be the favorite in each conference? I just want one. Like, if you just say favorite West, favorite East, doesn't mean who you're picking. I'm just saying who you got there. Like, who's your initial thought there? Is because the West is crazy, but who do you got there, T?
Casey.
That's you, Tyler. He said you, but
No, I got Suns and Bucks as my favorites. If I'm just picking favorites,
Yep, that's all I want.
Going, but yeah,
that's the
Suns
favorite.
and Bucks.
Case.
I got the Warriors versus the Reindeers, the Bucks.
That's the favorites on it. See, I don't have that as the favorites. I gotta go with Tyler in that regard. I gotta go Suns, and I have to go Celtics though. That's my difference as well there in the East with it. All right, let's get to what game here I think that's interesting. Let's transition to the Eastern Conference here a little bit, and then we'll finish it up here. 76ers versus Nets here. Can Brooklyn upset and beat in the six? I mean, I don't like our chances in this. There's a heavy favorite, as you can see below. I have the gambling odds going below, as well as the schedules here for the games moving forward. Case Embiid probably going to win the MVP this year. Bridges has been good for the Nets as he's gotten there. The Simmons thing, I don't know what I don't even know what to make of that anymore. But the Nets, can they? I don't know. Can they win a game?
Yeah, they'll win a game, no doubt. I mean, it's hard to go through. I mean, I think the Warriors with KD went 15-1 that year. I mean, you're going to lose a game. It's tough, especially in the first years. I think you're going to get ramped up and you're going to get the team's best challenge. Joel, to me, definitely, to me, is the MVP. Giannis, I think, is just, he got his. Joker's got his too. I think this is Joel's time to shine. One thing I would like to see at the end of the year is when Joel would have, not sat out that game and actually played against.
What was that? That was weak. Our guy Nico, you were on with him.
He had some.
I mean, Casey, you're not on Twitter, but you got an idea how Nico is.
I love Nico.
Tyler, right? He went Nuki.
Oh, he was in.
Nico's a boss. I love Nico. Nico's the shit.
I'm hoping to get him to join us, Casey, Sunday night after the Nuggets game. It's going to be. That will be a primetime game out here on the West Coast. If you're going to join us, then that'll be a late night one. But I'm hoping. But yeah, I hear you on that for sure. That was weak on that part of it. What do you think of the Doc Rivers part of it too?
Joel basically went like Antonio Banderas, like Puss in Boots. Like he didn't want to play it. Like he
that was
just
weird.
Like, I'm straight. Like I'm good. And to me, I hated that part. It's like if you're gonna sit out a game, I get it, but this is not the one to do it. I think he played in like 29 of the 32 games prior to that. It was like, this is the one game you're going to sit out. This is the one that you're going to sit out. But
even as a competitor, that's what I don't get. Like, as a competitor, right? Like, if I was going against you, like, in the back, like, I'd rather play you than, like, somebody, you know what I mean? Like, you get my point. Like, I don't want to play somebody worse than me. I want to play against the best. And I would think that since there's only 2 matches of that you would be intrigued for that from that point of it. But I kind of want to stay focused, Casey, also on the series as we go there with it. the Nets, the problem is I don't think Tyler, we'll get back to this if you want. I don't think they have enough bigs to give the Sixers any run at all.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
like,
outside
you
of
know,
Nick
to cut
Claxton, they
Tyler
have
off real
nothing.
quick, dude. I didn't mean to cut you off, too, but like
Go
you
ahead,
said,
Case.
like
Finish
Seems like
Yeah,
a
go ahead.
three-played attack.
Eminem's favorite song, like you walking off with a broken leg, you're gonna do anything to play in that game, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm down with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
no.
definitely a weird sit. But the
weird.
Nets got Nick Claxton, and then outside of that, it's slim pickings, just like the Suns and Clippers. There's no depth on the Nets. They have Bridges. Will Cam Thomas get any minutes? Like every time he plays, he seems to be putting up a 30 burger, but he hasn't played in like weeks. And then he plays the last game of the season, puts up 46. I just think that with Embiid, you're just going to get open shots the whole game by like the likes of Tobias Harris and Kormez. And
Max.
yeah, I just think the Sixers will win in 5 or 6. I do think the Nets will get a couple. Mikal Bridges will make it interesting. And then
Playoff.
I wish Ben Simmons was playing. I just make it a little more interesting just for the booing factor when he's in Philadelphia.
No doubt about it. All right, let's keep it moving here. We got Cavs, Knicks here. This to me, Casey, is one of the more intriguing matchups of the playoff round. Only because you have the Cavs there that's had the number one defense this season that usually plays a large role come playoff time. Mobley has been fantastic again this year as a rookie, especially on the defensive end. You have Mitchell that's had his monster season, had the 70-point game this year. And has proven in the bubble that he can be, and in other playoff games too, that he can be reliable on the scoring end. And I'm interested to see what Garland brings to the table this year. Me and you talked about him a lot at the beginning of the year for our preview show. I have the Knicks kind of, if I was going to pick a wild prediction, I have them maybe making the Eastern Finals just because of Brunson and maybe like, just a little luck the way it goes with things with Randall. That's my lucky pick of him wild wise. What do you think of this series here between the Cavs and the Knicks? To me, it should be a very good factor or a very good game. Or go ahead. Who you got?
Yeah, I mean, me and you, I mean, this is ways back when we spoke, and I said the Cavs were about 2 years away after they got that Donovan Mitchell trade. I said, I think this is going to put them in the playoffs and, put them in a prime position to make a run. Not necessarily make a championship run, but, make the Eastern Conference Finals or, close to that. And so I got the Cavs. I think the Knicks, the leadership with Jalen Brunson, and good God, the Mavs miss him very much so. But, I won't touch on that too much. But, that acquisition that they got from him, the leadership, and he's one of the top 5 players in clutch buckets in the last 3 minutes of the game. And then you got the opposite with the Cavs. They just have a hard time struggling just to finish off games. But they do have a guy with Donovan Mitchell who has been there before, multiple-time All-Star. Darius Garland, an All-Star beforehand. Evan Mobley. It'll be interesting to see how he guards in this game because he's been a little soft this year. He's been good. He's young, but I think it's going to be challenging for him. But I do have the Cavs pulling this one out. I just think Donovan Mitchell is going to be D-Mitch without Rudy Gobert. He ain't going to call him a B word like Kyle Anderson, but I think he was holding him back a little bit. And I think Evan Mobley is he's on his way with Darius and Garland. And,
He's really good.
I mean, 70-something points. I mean, it's ridiculous. The Knicks have a great team. Julius Randle, I just do not trust in him. I'm sorry, I can't do it. He got hurt. He didn't play the last 5 games. I just have a hard time trusting the Knicks right now.
I think that's fair enough to Tyler to not trust Randall and those. I mean, like he's like the ultimate, like kind of like. Honestly, like the reason I would if I take him like from a wild prediction to go to the Eastern Finals is that you have him just get red hot, along with what Casey said, Brunson being Mr. Reliable and getting them. I mean, what a player he's turned into. Come on. None of us at Villanova would have thought he'd become this good of a player in the NBA. Maybe even but I mean, he's becoming like an all-star, type of player, and very clutch along the way. Tyler, who do you got? Or actually, real quick, Case, what do you said you have Cavs, but in how many games? I'm just curious.
I think it's going to go full 7.
Yeah, okay. I guys want it. Tyler, what do you got?
I think it's going full 7. It's going to be game 7 too.
Yep.
I got the Cavs in 5. I just think they are better than them at every position except for maybe point guard with Jalen Brunson versus Darius Garland. But Garland still can hold his own, can do everything on a basketball court. And Donovan Mitchell is the closest thing to D-Wade since D-Wade left the league. Like, he's that good of a scorer. And player. Like he's I didn't realize he had this in him. When he was in Utah scoring 50 in the bubble, I was like, this seems sneaky. And he's backed it up. And I props to Donovan Mitchell. He's proven me wrong. He's a great player. And then they're big, like Allen, Mobley, loves her. But then you have Karis LeVert coming off the bench to add a spark. You have Ricky Rubio to be your backup point guard, steady the ship when you need a backup point guard in the game. The depth, the top-tier talent, and then Julius Randle, every time he's in the playoffs, just falls short and plays way worse than he does in the regular season. So I'm not buying the Knicks. I do like Jalen Brunson, but the Cavaliers are just a much better team. I think they'll win in 5.
It's not necessarily the best matchup for the Knicks because Robinson sometimes can play a factor for teams with his offensive rebounding, and with Allen and Mobley on the Cavs, that might not be able to play as much of a factor with them defending it. It to me is a very intriguing series, though. So I am curious to see how that one plays out going forward. Casey, let's get to a matchup that I always feel like it happens every year. We'll call it the Zaza Pachulia series. We got the Celtics. We got the Celtics versus the Hawks here. Do you think Atlanta can even get a game in this series? I'm serious. Like Atlanta did make it to the playoffs or to the playoffs yesterday with that win. I don't know. I just feel like the Celtics, they've had some issues with the Brown situation with this getting the stitches in his hand. A lot of Celtics fans have kind of complained about their coach a little bit during the year as well. I think Atlanta can even get a game here. Or do you think there's somehow a miracle here?
I wouldn't say a miracle, but Quinn Snyder taking over, I think as like
great hair.
Gray hair, yeah, right.
The Missouri hair. We need that
the
Missouri
slick
hair.
bag. I mean, Atlanta's only one game over 500 since he took over, so it's not that big of a drastic change, but their defense is obviously improved. Trae Young, with the speculation going through the organization, saying everyone's available to be traded. I thought he handled the last game in the playing game and did it fantastically. The only thing is, he reminds me of a young Steph Curry that can't shoot as well. He turns that ball over like crazy. I see Atlanta, though. I'm pushing them I would say 6. And Missoula, first-time coach for the Celtics. It takes a difference, once you're in the coach and you kind of figure out, like, okay, this is where I need to mix and match. Robert Williams, seeing how he comes back, the health-wise with him. Jason Tatum obviously is going to be the best player in that series. Jaylen Brown, which Daren always gives me shit for him, saying, "Oh, he's not going to be this." Yeah, I told you, man. Jaylen Brown is a beast, brother.
He's not going to be a Hall of Famer.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He is. He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
That's
man.
for another show.
No doubt. But yeah. Anyways. I got Boston in 6.
Hey,
so
you might as well at this point go Atlanta. Game 7.
Zaza comes back.
To me, it's going to be like one of those games where Boston wins like 2 games by 40. You know what I mean? Like one of those weird series, when Atlanta wins at home by like 13 or 20. That's just how I feel. It's going to go 6, though.
No, I got you on that. What do you got, Tyler, there with the Hawks? Can Trae Young steal a game?
I got to be honest. I like the way Casey sees it. I think the blowouts will be blowouts, but I think the Hawks can steal a couple. They got a nice backcourt with Young and Murray. And, like, are you scared of Marcus Smart and Malcolm Brogdon and not Devin White, whatever the White is on Boston? Like, it just doesn't scare me. Clint Capella.
Derek White.
The linebacker.
I
wouldn't want to.
That'd be a mean point. Lay this. Talk about Rick Mahorn.
No, I've heard Celtics say that they'd rather have White in. Grant Williams is always kind of like he's got to be on the love-hate for Celtics fans on their list there.
I like the Hawks. I like Bogdanovich coming off the bench, and then you got Sadiq Bey's been a revelation since he's gotten to use.
They can't play defense against the Celtics.
No, that's the issue. But if Jaylen Brown's hand is not able to be used because he cut it, whatever he said he was doing, I think there's a little pause for worry. I do think the Celtics are the better team. They have a much deeper bench, and that matters in the playoffs. But I think it'll be a closer series than most people would predict. What is
I think the Celtics I think the Celtics sweep this series. I think the Celtics have this one under control here. You guys talked about that one enough, so I want to keep it moving here so we stay on the hour mark. Let's go Raptors. I think is somebody. Is that me? That's me.
Not me.
Maybe it's Casey. Casey, your
leave,
phone's crackling.
I'll leave and come back. See if
All
I can
right,
find.
sounds good. All right, we got Raptors Bucks here. I'm gonna predict. We got or we don't predict. I got Bulls. Actually, Bucks here. Who do you got here, Tyler? Winning that series? Can the Bulls even win a series or win a game in this?
No, the Bulls aren't winning a game. The Bucks are just the best team in the East, in my opinion. Especially when they're fully healthy. Is Middleton fully healthy right now? I believe he is. From what
I mean, and we don't even know if it's going to be the Bulls versus the Bucks. I'm just putting up a team here. I don't know who it could be. It could also be. Remind me the team for it could be that one the other day. But anyways, that's who we have.
It could be Miami.
Miami. Thank you. I just don't think. I think the Bucks sweep that series no matter what.
I hope it's the Bulls because Miami is less entertaining than the Bulls just because Zach LaVine. Like Jimmy Butler could be playoff Jimmy, but the rest of that roster is it's like you said of the Lakers. It's just slow and methodical and not very entertaining basketball for me. They're one of my least. They'd be my last pick maybe in the NBA Game Pass of all the teams that made the playoffs or the play-in game. And so I hope the Bulls can figure out a way to win, but the Bucks will sweep whoever they play or maybe get it to 5.
Who knows if Casey will join us here in a minute, but we're going to keep it moving. We're at the end of it anyways here. So I'm going to finish it up with our full court press here. I want to know where the players that you're looking to watch. Like, who are you kind of keeping? It doesn't have to be like who's going to make the final. Just kind of like, you have anybody it could be from a team. You know, what are you thinking of somebody you're like, I just want to see how they're doing here come playoff time this year.
I'm going to stay away from the Warriors just because it's Jason Tatum to me. His playoff record is ridiculous. The amount of points he scores, his production in the playoffs, outside of the NBA Finals, which he did come up a little short, admittedly. Outside of that, he's been one of the best playoff performers I've ever seen. It's on a Kobe, a Jordan level without the winning the championships. But if he does get to that level, his numbers are right there with his point production, his rebounding. He doesn't really play make like those two, but it's ridiculous for what he's done at such a young age. And I want to see if he can do it again.
Do you have a team that you might want to watch? You know what I mean? Like outside the Warriors, like there, where you're like, I just kind of want to curious how they're getting fair against in a certain matchup there.
I mean, I love Kevin Durant, so it's the Suns. I just want to watch Kevin Durant play basketball every time he steps on the court. So I'll be watching the Suns every time they step on the court.
I have the Grizzlies for obvious reasons. That's kind of the team
I hope they play the Warriors at some point in this.
And then I have Randall for as a player I'm watching for the Knicks. Obviously, I think they can do. Obviously, if they're going to do anything, he's going to have to be a wild card, right, for them. And so I'm looking to see if he can show up in that regard. In case we were talking maybe a player you're looking to watch here in the NBA playoffs.
For me, it'd be Andrew Wiggins.
That's a good call.
Just to see
will he play? Will he be a player to watch?
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, just speculation to the organization, that he's going to be available.
He'll probably play at least 20 minutes, you think, or something?
GP2 for him is going to have to play a lot of minutes, I think. Jordan Poole, the one thing that I think is a positive is that the Kings are a smaller team.
Yep.
So they can get away with playing that small lineup against them. So
DiVincenzo.
Yeah, but Andrew Wiggins to me is one of those key. If not, he was the main guy I think besides Steph Curry that drove that championship, last year.
All right, let's go to the almost the finale here. Let's go to our finals here. We got a conference finals. We got our finals predictions. Who do you guys like? Tyler, let's go with you. We can make it simpler if you want. We can just go finals predictions. But if you want to throw out the Western Conference or Eastern Conference finals, I'll let you do that as well. Who you got, Tyler?
I got Warriors, Grizzlies in the West, and I got Bucks, Philly in the East.
Yeah, okay.
And then for the championship, I have Warriors, Bucks. Like I said before, I had the Suns as the favorite, but I think the Warriors. And then it'll be a good finals. I haven't really thought about this too hard yet.
Man, on Sunday, I'm going to really grill you about the Warriors on Sunday because I'm going to me, I'm Mr. Pessimistic. So I'm going to nail you with How the hell is a team that won 11 games? And so me and you will have a good conversation. You're gonna have to fire me up for that one, Tyler. Who do you, or you said so you have the Warriors? And who did you say you had in the East though, Tyler? Remind me just real quick.
The Bucks.
The Bucks. Casey, who do you got?
I said Warriors Bucks earlier. I think Western Conference Final is going to be. I mean, the Warriors Lakers. I think is going to be the most sexiest matchup going into that. Obviously, they're meet in the second round, but to me, I think that Philadelphia Bucks series is going to be pretty an epic series.
I feel like for the Eastern Conference, that second round is where it really kicks in more so than the Western Conference right now. It just feels like it's wide open. So like it kind of feels like every series is a little bit better than the Eastern Conference, but that will change probably next round.
What do you guys think though if the Warriors and Suns meet up in the Western Conference Finals and Steph Curry gets another one on KD, man?
Gosh,
can you say that KD is better than Steph?
If I didn't want him in the first round, I guess I don't know if I want him in the next round.
Can you say though? Honestly, I'm going to ask this. Like, can you say that KD is better than Steph Curry if he beats them?
If they lose this year to Curry with the Suns, that will definitely be something that Durant would have a hard time. It'd be hard for fans to be like, "How can you say Curry's not better than Durant?" Like, yeah, that argument starts to grow a little bit, right, Tyler?
I mean, Curry will have the better career for sure. It's not even a debate.
He won one before him. He won one without him. He won two with him, and then he beats him twice without him.
You'd have the better career for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish it up with our final quarter. We're getting close to an hour here on it. What do you think about our favorite first round memories? So, like, I feel like the first round, there's always like some good matchups. We got that we've always kind of talked about. We've done a couple of rewatches on the first round as well. I don't know, is there a first round memory, Tyler, or first round games or series that maybe has been forgotten over the years?
Yeah, I think Brandon Roy in 2011, when he had his like swan song when he was hurt, he was playing on no cartilage in his knee, and he just tore it up. He beat, I think, the Timberwolves, I believe, in game 4, and he just was lights out. He looked like old Brandon Roy. And then the next game, he just fell apart and he was injured again and looked like. But just for that one game, I was like, that's my guy. That's the guy who I thought was going to be the next.
That's my man. Case, who do you got?
It was against Dallas, excuse me, not the Timberwolves.
I know what you're talking about. You got a first round series? Is that Lakers Rockets? No.
Nah, I think the one that
our first ever podcast, is that what it is?
Yeah. No, the one that I remember, I think most of it, I could be wrong. I hope not, but I think it's the one where Kevin Garnett and Molly Zerbiak upset. I think it was in the first round. I'm blanking on the name right now for the team, but Kevin Garnett played out of his mind, and it was Molly Zerbiak and I forget the other cat that was playing on the team, but not Latrell. Sam Cassell. Thank you, Tyler. Yeah.
Well, Latrell did play with him.
He did play with those guys.
Yeah, but that was my favorite one because Garnett was he played on a different level, and I think it was like 2 years before I went to Boston, but it was just like one of those series where just like you recognize like how great someone is, and he carried a team like kind of like LeBron did from like the Cleveland days, and you're like, this is probably the most special player in the NBA. And then when he went to Boston, you realize like how great of a talent he really was.
I'm trying to go through Minnesota's timeline. Yeah, they lost so many first round series.
I remember they went up like 3-2 on the Lakers in the first round series, but it was best of 7. It was the first year it became best of 7.
I think Casey they ended up losing the series, Case, but my guess is you might be thinking about 97, 98, where they lost to the Supersonics in 5 games. My guess is that
was way before he went.
But his stats are pretty good today. For a series in there at that one. I like that one as well. That was a good choice there, Case, with Garnett. I was thinking back to. Also, that Zaza one with the Celtics and Hawks, I thought that was a good first round, kind of an underrated first round series as well. And then how can we not go back to the Warriors? We believe the Mavericks. That's always right up there with it. And then Sonics Kings, 2007, I think it was 2006 it was, when you had our test and those type of Kings teams that were going against Rashard Lewis and Ray Allen and those type of Supersonics teams. So those were always fun for me to go against with it. All right, Tyler, I think that's our show for tonight. Our first ever episode here on VSM Basketball Network. Appreciate you guys joining with me on the show here. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. Any last thoughts on the playoffs? Anything you're looking forward to? TNT, ESPN coverage, announcers, anything you're looking forward to? Any last thoughts here?
Just the best basketball in the world. I can't wait for the Warriors to step on the court and facing Sacramento Kings.
Nobody's trying to sit out games anymore. It's a good thing.
Yeah, people.
Come
on, Kawhi. Don't do it to us in the playoffs.
The only one that's trying to sit out still is Zion. So, but it's all right though.
DA, we're sorry. That's not it.
But I mean, they're gonna need 2 seats for him, so it's all right.
The bowling ball, is that Tyler calls it there. I like that nickname. Like, he is like a bully brother. All right, guys, that's our first episode here on VSN Basketball. Trying to grow the network here. If you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, that'd be great. Tyler McGurk with me. Thanks, guys, joining me on a Wednesday evening. Know that's kind of tough. Casey, know you worked late last couple of days, so appreciate you joining me. Talking a little hoops, guys. It's always the best time of the year for us, as I know we enjoy the playoffs. We'll see you guys Saturday night for our post-game Warriors Kings. Till then,
let's go.
Peace.
Peace.